Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Wednesday, June 29th, 2016.
Commissioner Davis, James Repenning, and Jacinto are present. President James, we have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Shirley Lau, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Tim Dafera, Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Nishit Danda, Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Hannah Choi, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. President James, we do not have any speaker cards under public comments. We do not have any commentary under Neighborhood Council, and no speaker cards under the regular items.
Okay, then we'll close general public comment as well as the Neighborhood Council section of comments. Our first item of business, the approval of the meeting minutes from the meeting of Wednesday, June the 8th, 2016. Is there a second to my motion to approve those meeting minutes? By Commissioners Repenning and Jacinto. Without objection, we will approve those meeting minutes. A couple of housekeeping items. Agenda item number 3, Council District 14, continued from June 6, 2016. Mr. Jimenez, the board will consider the relocation assistance appeal from Bellcraft Office Furniture related to the 6th Street Viaduct Seisman Improvement Project. Mr. Jimenez has informed me that the parties have reached a settlement agreement. So what we will do, Mr. Jimenez, is hold the item over to July 11th, 2016, for there to be time to file the documents waiving the appeal or withdrawing the appeal.
That sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir. So we'll hold this item over for disposition to July 11th, 2016. Agenda item number 1. Bureau of Engineering for Council District 5, recommending that the board find the Waring Avenue Storm Drain Improvement Project an urgent necessity and authorize a construction budget of $700,000, including contingency, for the construction of the project per the adopted policy dated September 12, 2011. Authorize the city engineer to advertise this project off the on-call emergency sewer and storm drain repairs contract in compliance with established procedures, and authorize the city engineer to issue construction orders up to authorized construction budget for the project to the lowest responsible bidder from the on-call emergency sewer and storm drain repairs contract list in compliance with the city's contracting policies. Nadir Shah.
Nadir Shah, Bureau of Engineering, Street Improvement and Stormwater Division. Waring Avenue Storm Drain Improvement Project will be undertaken in the Melrose Vista area of Council District 5. In August 2015, the Bureau of Sanitation sent an urgent emergency request to the Bureau of Engineering to assess frequent and repeated flooding along the Melrose Avenue and Vista Street. The Bureau of Engineering concluded that the existing storm drain system along Melrose Avenue lacks sufficient capacity and proposed the installation of storm drain system along Waring Avenue, a block north of Melrose Avenue. To construct this project before the start of the next wet weather, starting in mid-October 2016, the regular bid and award procedure will not meet the project schedule. Therefore, it is necessary to expedite the project using emergency on-call contractor. The project scope of work includes the installation of 909 linear feet of 18 inches to 36-inch diameter storm drain pipe, 5 curbside catch basins, 2 maintenance hall, and a junction structure. The estimated construction cost for the project, including contingencies, is $700,000, and the estimated construction duration is 120 calendar days. The Bureau of Engineering recommends that the board find the project an urgent necessity and authorize the construction budget of $700,000. Authorize the city engineer to advertise the project on-call of the on-call emergency sewer and storm drain contract list, and authorize the city engineer to issue construction orders up to the authorized construction budget for the project to the lowest responsible bidder from the on-call emergency sewer and storm drain contract list in compliance with the city's contracting policies. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions on this one, Commissioner Jacinto?
Thank you, President James. Nadir, thank you for your report. Just a timing question. If the construction duration is 120 calendar days, that starts from July, or when do we think we're going to finish this project?
With the emergency bid and award procedure, it will reduce from 6 months bid and award, it will be shortened to 2 to 4 weeks. And as soon as we are done with that, we can start our best. So it will take about 120 calendar days for the actual construction. That will include mobilization, submittals. So yeah, it will, as soon as, that's why it's necessary to do it on expedited basis.
Okay, so we'll be around late October, early November.
Yes, that will get to
Very
that.
good, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anything further? Commissioner Jacinto, anything further? Nothing? Mr. Campos?
Nader, thank you very much for your presentation. Just one thing, just to be very clear in terms of procedure. The report is recommending that the board delegate the authority down to the city engineer to award this contract. This is only for up to $700,000. So in the event that this goes beyond $700,000, once you get the bids back, the requirement or the recommendation is to come back to this board at that point in time.
We understand that.
Just to be clear. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Campos. Anything else? Anybody? All right. Is there a motion? Commissioner Jacinto's made a motion. I'll second it, along with Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 1. Any reason we should not send number 1 forthwith? We'll send number 1 forthwith. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Agenda item number 2. Let's go ahead and take care of number 4. The Bureau of Sanitation recommending that the board authorize an additional funding source for the personal services contract with Rarig Pacific Company for the remainder of the contract term for the fiscal year 15-16. Funds are available in the Curbside Recycling Trust Fund, Fund 444 Appropriation Unit number 50 MARC in the amount of $1,756,000, and in Integrated Solid Waste Management Fund 556 Appropriation Unit 5 MR50 in the amount of $1,052,900. Mr. Campos, you want to summarize what just what is happening here regarding the mark out on the motion? Or do you want the Bureau to do that?
If you want to take, I'll defer to the Bureau.
Jonathan, go ahead,
Thank
sir.
you. Good morning, President James, Commissioners, Bureau Representatives, Attorney Jordan, and Mr. Campos. Jonathan Sari from the Bureau of Sanitation. Regarding this motion, the Bureau of Sanitation entered into a personal services contract back in for contract 102987 back in 2002 for a 5-year term and 2 renewal options of 5-year each renewal option. We did the last renewal option back in 2011. For this particular motion that you have in front of you, we are asking initial funding for this contract was identified in 508, Fund 508. But recently we have identified 2 additional funding sources that are available for us to expend for this contract. We just want to make clear that we are not increasing the contract ceiling for this contract. We are just adding additional funding sources, which is 556 and Fund 444 in the amount stated in the motion. And we ask that for your authority to do this.
Okay, any questions on correcting the funding source here? Is there a motion on this? Commissioner Penning, I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 4. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 2. Bureau of Contract Administration, Engineering, and Department of Transportation and Council District 15. Requested contract award on the Anaheim Street Highway, the Rail Grade Crossing Improvement Project. This is a federal project, number HSIPL 5006713. Recommending that the board first declare Bitech Construction Company Incorporated the first low bidder, and Palp Incorporated doing business as Excel Paving Company the second low bidder, both to be non-responsive, and 2, find the contractor participation level deviation in the bid from Sully Miller Contracting Company the third low bidder to be inconsequential, and request that the board waive that, and 3, then declare the third low bidder to be the lowest responsible bidder, and award a contract in the amount of $1,595,626 to Sully Miller Contracting Company, the third low bidder. Mr. Edwards is here, and I note that Ms. McGlinchey is in the audience over there where it's hard to see her. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning to you all. Gene Edwards with the Bureau of Engineering. This is a project on Anaheim Street. It's a rail grade crossing improvement. It's along Anaheim Street between McFarland Avenue and Eubank Avenue. A little background, the roadway improvements will include the installation of median islands, sidewalk surface, and access improvements for pedestrians. The railway improvements will include the upgrade of railway warning gate and light mechanisms, and repair of the railroad crossing surface, and the installation of new gates. There were a total of 4 bids received. Compared to the city engineer's estimate of $1,111,827, the lowest bid was Bitech, which was $1,308,259, which was 17.6% higher than the city engineer's estimate. The second lowest bid was Excel, which was $1,544,580, which is 38.9% higher than the city engineer's estimate. And the third lowest bidder was Sully Miller, which was $1,595,626, which was 43.5% higher than the city engineer's estimate. This is a federally funded project and therefore subject to the city's DBE program requirements. The project was advertised with a DBE goal of 8%. The first lowest bidder, Bitech, met the DBE goal, having a commitment of 20.3%. However, Bitech failed to meet the contractor's participation requirement of 50%. It is recommended that their bid be deemed non-responsive. Their actual participation was somewhere in the order of 34%.
So they're short over 15%.
Over 15%,
okay,
yes.
Go ahead, sir.
The second lowest bidder, Excel, did not meet the DBE goal, and they also failed to meet the 50% contractor participation. Their actual participation was 46.8%, which is a deviation of 3% and a fraction. And the third lowest bidder, Sully Miller, did not meet the DBE goal. However, they submitted adequate good faith effort documentation. Sully Miller also failed to meet the contractor's participation requirement of 50%. However, their deviation was less than 1%. And considering a prior California appellate court case, which was Gelati versus the city of Richmond, it has been in the past practice of city staff to recommend that the board waive inconsequential deviation when the deviation is less than 1%. And for this reason, we are recommending that this deviation of less 1% is deemed inconsequential and that the award be given to Sully Miller.
Gene, and Mr. Jordan, on the city, is my recollection that our policy is if it's less than 1%, that is a discretion that we have exercised in the past. And I also want to note the board report does indicate that if we deviate and waive as the Bureau requests, that they did receive confirmation that we are not jeopardizing the federal funding by doing so, correct?
Yes, I do believe that we have discussions with the DOT and Caltrans, and the federal funding is not jeopardized for awarding to Scully Miller as it was bid.
Okay, Mr. Jordan, so are less than 1% deviation here, sir?
Yes, as the report indicates, there's no basis for staff to believe that the third low bidder received a competitive advantage as a reason of their deviation, nor does that deviation really undermine any of the goals for competitive bidding. So if the board wishes to exercise the discretion that staff has recommended, I don't see a problem with that.
And that's in line with the Galati case, which you and I have discussed in open hearing a few times over the years, Mr. Jordan?
Yes, in fact, the deviation in Galati was, I believe, 5.5%.
It was.
So we're well below that.
Okay. Commissioner Davis.
Is the Galati case the Richmond case, City of Richmond, is he referring to?
Yes.
Okay. And so they had 0.5%.
5.5.
They had 5.5%.
5.5%.
And it was a federal contract as well.
I'm not sure about that, actually.
I don't have that information.
Yeah, but staff has indicated, and they confirmed with me as well, that they've checked with the funding authority and
it's okay.
Awarding the contract to the third low bidder with this deviation does not present a problem.
Okay. So Sully, is that the name of the firm?
Sully Miller, I believe.
Sully Miller had 0.1% near the 50% threshold that's required of contractor participation, correct?
They had a contractor participation of 49.4%, so the difference between 50 and 49.4 is 0.6%. That's the deviation.
Not a problem, understand that. Now, the other area of performance was disadvantaged businesses, right?
The DBE, yes.
And what was their performance on that again?
Their DBE level, just give me a second to find my place, was only 1.78%. However, because they showed a good faith effort documentation that they did the proper outreach, it is acceptable.
I'm trying to ascertain, certainly I understand the 1%. However, I'm trying to figure out how they are distinguished from the other competitors in terms of why they are the recommended one.
I see. If we're comparing DBE of the second bidder, Excel documented a commitment of 1.44%, which is a fraction of a percent less than Sully Miller. And
they do on the 50% requirement.
No, now we're talking about DBE, not related to the prime participation.
Yeah, but they were close on DBE with Sully Miller being.
They are
Sully
close.
Miller being a little higher.
They were 40. The prime participation was 46.8% compared to Sully Miller's 49.4%.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
They're over the 1%.
Got it. Okay. Thanks.
Anything further, Commissioner Davis? Okay. Any further questions? I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 2 as recommended by the board. Is there a second on it? Seconded by Commissioners Davis, Repenning, and Asinto, so that'll be the order. Without objection. Thank you, Mr. Edwards.
Thank you.
Any issues sending number 2 forthwith? We'll send number 2 forthwith. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 is continued. Number 5, oral report on the status of consultant contracts. We have Shirley and Sherry. Well, I looked up and I saw Shirley first, so we'll start with Shirley at the Bureau of Engineering. Unless Sherry feels strongly about going before. Okay. All right. Shirley, go ahead.
Good morning, Shirley Lau with the Bureau of Engineering. I'm here to provide you with the status report of the BOE's personal services contracts. Details of each contract can be found in the handout from the Bureau that's in front of you. Within the next 120 days, the Bureau has identified a total of 18 personal contracts that will expire. It can be divided into 3 major work functions. The first group contains 5 contracts that will expire, and they're for full services right-of-way consultant services. And they're used primarily by our real estate division for various right-of-way work, such as appraisals and acquisitions for our public works projects. BOE still needs the services from these consultants, and we're working on an amendment request to extend these contracts for another 2 years. The next group of contracts comprises of 12 contracts. It's for landscape architectural design services. These contracts support various park projects throughout the city and are primarily being used by our architectural division. We will continue to need the services from these consultants, and a 5-year extension is in the process and will be requested. And the last contract out of the 18 provides project management and construction management services for our Prop F program. There's still a need for this service, so we will be requesting an amendment for a 5-year extension. That concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Shirley, there are a couple of the listed contracts where the I'm looking at Mia Lehrer, MLA Green. It's number 11 on the list, and number 16 on the list, where there about half of those contracts still have an unpaid balance on authorized tasks. You happen to, just because those numbers stood out, any reason as to the reason for the unpaid balance on the authorized tasks?
I don't have that information right now, but I could get back to you on the reason why there's a large balance.
Yeah, you could just pop me an email. I'm guessing there's probably not anything unusual, but I just wanted to inquire.
Okay, we will let you know.
Thank you. Any other questions for Commissioner Jacinto?
Thank you. Shirley, thanks for the report and breaking it up like this. The contractors that don't have any NTPs or any unpaid balances basically have not been successful in bidding from this.
Correct.
Okay. And so, but they're on the on-call list. So feasibly they should or hopefully can get awarded a contract in some way, shape, or form.
Correct, in the future, hopefully. And sometimes they don't necessarily respond to our task orders, solicitations.
Great, thank you.
Okay, anything further on for Bureau of Engineering? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sherry, you're up. Bureau of Sanitation. Here we are.
Good morning, Commissioners, Bureau Rep, City Attorney, Executive Officer. My name is Sherry Kuroki. I'm with Sanitation. We have 6 contracts expiring within the next 120 days. All 6 of them are ones you've heard in past monthly and quarterly reports, so I'll go over them briefly. 5 will be renewed. The first 2 are NASA Services and Universal Waste Systems. They're for the multifamily residential recycling program. The contract, we will be exercising a renewal option containing the contract, and it will be scheduled for board the week of July 11th, so it should be coming up soon. The third one to be renewed is Conejo Crest Landscape Incorporated contract. That's for the landscaping services at the Japanese Garden. The contract will be renewed to exercise a 1-year renewal option containing the contract, and that board report is being finalized. The project manager is also preparing a new RFP for services. The fourth one, Big Belly Solar, that's for those waste receptacles. The project manager is amending the contract to extend the term and increase the cost ceiling, and he's currently drafting it. Hoffman Southwest Corporation for sewer condition assessment using CCTV inspection. That amendment was actually adopted by board earlier this month. But the project manager is also drafting a new RFP for services. One contract won't be renewed. That's Simi Valley Landfill and Recycling Center. That's for landfill disposal of grit and screenings. And a new contract with the selected contractor, which happens to be the same contractor, was already executed by the board in March, but is not effective until July. That's it.
Okay, any questions for Sherry on sanitation? Thank you.
Great, thank
Your
you.
report will be received. Mr. Campos, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Then we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.